Well, you join me at Monk Lakes. I'm actually here on a 36-hour session, but I'm actually going to be talking about the Carp Basics bait. I wanted to do a review talking about all the different aspects of the bait, and because I've been using it for over a year now, that I've got more to say about it. There's lots of things that I haven't talked about, a lot of things that I haven't mentioned. In the videos that I've done, all I've mentioned is, oh, I'm using an all-nut, or I'm using a red lobster. I'm not really explaining what it is or what it smells like or anything. So I thought I'd do this video and explain everything and talk in detail about each bait and all the different ranges that Carp Basics do. So let's go. Okay, I'm going to start with the boilies. Now, there is 3 boilies in the range. There is red lobster, all nut and ocean fruit. So they're all different as well. Different colour, different smells and different ingredients in each of the baits. Now they're all unique and they have their purposes as well, so certain times of year they work even better than the other baits, but they all do work. You can catch them with all the baits, but I find that certain ones work better in certain times of the year than others, and there's sort of one that works all the year round as well, so there's a good mixture there. So the first one I'm going to talk about is red lobster. Now, I really like this bait. I'm a big fan of it. From the first time I ever saw it, I was like, I want to try that. Definitely, I want to use that. I knew it was a high oil bait as well, so obviously it's mostly going to be a summer bait. But I actually done quite well in the autumn on it, so it is definitely more than just a summer bait. But again, it has a lot of oil in it, so it does not work as much in the winter. But saying that, I actually already had 2 bites on this session already, so yeah, it does work in winter. It can be surprising. Bait is a red colour. Now it's more of a dull red, it's not too bright, and I find that the carp are actually attracted to it than spook from it. So yeah, I think red is a really good colour. I think it's a very natural colour, and I think they're definitely attracted to that colour, especially when the water's cloudy and chocolatey. Definitely does you more bites. There is actually little specks in the bait. Now that is actually crushed up shell, just gives it a little bit of a crunch. The bait name is actually the Red Lobster Crunch, but everyone calls it Red Lobster just because, well, it's easier to remember and easier to say, I suppose, and it's quick. But that is the full name, and it has got a crunch to it and it has got that little bite to it, which is really good. I said it was an oily bait. It's also a fish meal bait as well, so on top of being oily, it's also fishy as well. Being red lobster, it has got some lobster in it, so it's going to be a very, very fishy smell, but it's very pungent, but I think it's not too pungent at the same time as well. I don't think it's overly strong, but strong enough. And also, like I said, best time of year to use it is really summer and autumn, but you can use it all year round and catch. I was actually on the other lake next door to this one I'm on, and I had quite a lot of carp on the little 12mm pop-ups version of it, and it worked really well on there. So it does work all year round, but I would say the best times is summer and autumn. The next one is ocean fruit. Now, not a lot of people don't really know what's in this. They see the colour and they work out maybe it's a fish meal. It is fish meal, but it's a fish meal that works all year round. There's not one month it doesn't work in. I would say the best month would probably be autumn into winter, but generally this works all the time. I was filming for Carp Basics up at Mousehole, and someone had a 30-pounder on it, and Joff, the director of Carp Basics, has also had his PB, which is like an upper 30 on the ocean fruit as well, and yeah, his is one of his favourite baits as well, so he loves that one. I just think because it's so unique. Now it has got a little fruity tinge to it as well, which makes it different. So it's not just a standard fish meal bait, and I think that's what makes it work. The ocean fruit does have the crushed up shell as well in it. I think it's just to give it something a bit different, a bit unique, and just gives it a little bit of that crunchness to it. I'm not a huge fan of crunch myself, crunchy bait. I just think that once they eat it really, but sometimes the crunch might release some oil from it and something like that, and maybe that might give you a response to know what's happening on the lake. But overall it just adds to the boilie and makes it a bit different. It's definitely been one that I've had to trial a lot. I've spent a lot of time playing around with the all the pop-up range and the wafters, but I'm trying to focus more on using the bottom baits. I do know a few lakes that I'm going to be fishing this year that I'm definitely going to have to be having a go on there on those, because I think they're more unique and I think they're going to work better on that lake, those type of lakes. But overall it is a really good bait, and I think that if you find certain waters where they're really silty and stuff like that, that it seems to last longer. The flavour and the smell to it seems to last longer. It seems to not get too damaged by the silt, and it still smells even if you had it out all night on top of the silt, and yeah, it will still smell the same. So it is a very good bait, but I am a big fan of the other two baits myself as well, so I do play around with all. But overall the ocean fruit is something that I keep trying to learn to use and try and use more in my own fishing, but I have caught my PB common on the ocean fruit little pop-ups, so the little 12mm yellows. So they do big fish, and the ocean fruit is unique, and it just seems to get the bigger ones. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's different and they're not used to it as much. Maybe, I don't know, but it seems to work better. So the next one is all nut. Now, of course, from the name, it's got nut in it. It's pretty obvious. But it's actually got different types of nuts in there as well. One of them is tiger nut, which is like one of the best baits around for carp fishing. But it's just great to have a boilie form of it, because a lot of places ban nuts, and not a lot of places ban nuts in baits. So you can get away with it a little bit, and I think that's better as well, because it's more finer and it's cooked properly as well. So it means that you can get away with it on those lakes that are banned it. But you know, it's something a bit different as well, because it's got other types of nuts in it, and it's got different types of things in it that will make it a bit different than just a normal tiger nut. Also, this bait is just all year round bait. It seems to work all the time. It's definitely a high protein and a very strong smell, very sweet, and I think it just works all year round because of that. And it's one of my favourites, next to red lobster, of course. But yeah, it's one of my favourites, and I can't get enough of it. I keep going, I want more all nut. I'm actually feeding all nut while I'm here, is actually just because I know that they can respond much quicker to it, and it's definitely helped me get some bites already. So yeah, it's one of my favourites, definitely. All the range are in 15 and 18mm. They used to do in 12mm, but the 12mm have been stopped because not many people are interested. It seems like I'm the only one really interested in 12mm. There might be a few people, but it seems to me that there's less people wanting to use that and more people wanting to use 18 and 15mm. I'm a big fan of 15s, so I'm happy with those, but I do use 18 now and then. But I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of big baits unless there's lots of little carp in the lake and you just want to avoid them with bigger baits. Then that's a really good one. But I prefer 15s, prefer the 12mm because I could pop in spod mixes and things. But you know, it's just whatever's selling, and Carp Basics not selling that much, so they're going to stop doing it. Unless people want it and they demand it, then it's probably not going to be brought back for a little while. But we'll see about that anyway. I'll try and persuade him to try and get Joff to bring it back, but it's going to take a little while and a bit of convincing to do that one, I'm afraid. He's probably going to watch this video and go, what's he talking about? What's he babbling on about? Well, I like it. I love the 12mm, but not everyone does. All three ranges has match to hatch, wafters and pop-ups. Apart from the all nut doesn't have a pop-up form, it just has the wafters. The wafters come in dumbbell and they come in 15mm. So you know, you can change up a little bit. You can go for like load of chops and just do a dumbbell, which is really good. You can do something a bit different with that. I really like the dumbbells, especially Walters, where they're a bit more tricky and they don't really like round baits. Brilliant. Yeah, I've had no issues at all with the wafters. I'm always tipping off with plastics and stuff, and you think that would add loads more buoyancy to it, but it hasn't. It's been absolutely perfect. Especially when I've been fishing a Ronnie rig, or I think you can get away with it maybe on a German rig, or maybe like a 360 rig, you can get away with it, tipping it off plastic corn, but overall you can just fish it standard on a normal hair rig and it'll be fine, as long as your hook is over a 6. Because anything less than that, I think it might lift the hook up a little bit, just because they're cork dust ones, so they might give it a little bit extra buoyancy. Like I said, the pop-ups are match to hatch. They come in 15mm and 12mm, so that's really good. I really like the 12mm, especially the red lobster ones. I've been catching a lot of carp on those. There's different colour pop-ups in the range as well. We've got white, pink, yellow and orange, so you've got a good array of colours there. The pink is actually more of like a washed out pink, and the yellow, it's not too bright as well, and it seems to be a good colour as well. It doesn't stand out too much. I've actually caught in spring and summer on those, so they don't stand out too much and not too bright, which is really good. I really like the 12mm yellow ones. They're really good bait. The ocean fruit flavouring is really good. I've had my PB on there, like I said, but they do actually come in all the ranges, so you can get all 3 flavours for them. So the all nut, red lobster and the ocean fruit. The white ones I've actually got are actually chocolate orange as well, so they're the only ones that are sort of separate from the main flavours, but I do believe there are actually white ones in the all nut at the moment. So yeah, things are moving ahead. I mean, Carp Basics is expanding, but making sure that they're selling the right baits and people want them. But at the moment, it's sort of chop and change. But there is lots of different colours in the range. There's experimental baits that keep going out, and if people like them, then we'll keep selling them, definitely. But it's all up to the boss, so it's not up to me. I just work here. Yeah, if you didn't know, I'm the media consultant for Carp Basics, and I do all their filming and editing, so yeah, I do a lot for them. I'm trying to encourage them at the moment to do vlogs, and I'm just going to be doing editing so I can do more filming as well, so which is really good. I can get out on the bank a little bit more. Yeah, so I just have like an advisory role as well, and I test baits out. At the moment I'm actually testing a bait, but I can't say much more than that. All I can just say is I'm testing something out and it might come out next winter. Also, on top of that, the rest of the range is glugs. Now they're on all 3 flavours as well. I really like the glugs. I put them in my spod mixes. I put water in with the boilies, and I even put a bit of glug in there as well to add to it. So I'm a big fan of the glugs myself. I add the glug to my hook baits all the time because I want to keep them pungent, and I want to keep them pumping out liquid as well when they're in the lake. I prefer my baits to be strong and stand out. So if I've got any like all nut wafters, I'll just keep adding that all nut glug to it. I won't like pour loads in it, otherwise you just ruin it. But just pour a little bit at a time, shake it up, and then they sort of soak in, and yeah, it just makes things better. And I think gives you a little bit of an edge if you're soaking your baits. If you're just getting a normal bottom bait out or normal wafter, you know, it's just normal, and you're just going to catch what you're going to catch. But if you try and add your glug to it, you know, add that glug to it, add it and boost it, you're definitely going to get more bites. It's definitely going to help. And yes, okay, I get my bait for free, but I'm a big fan of not wasting anything, so I won't just like go and dump a load of bait in a lake just because I get it for free and I can dump it in. I will be really like cautious about putting in lots because I don't want to waste it, and I want to use it the maximum I can. So even if I do have to put bait in a lake, I'm only going to put a bit at a time because I'm not going to be daft with it. And the same with the glug. I don't just pour the whole thing in just because I can. I do a little bit at a time and I make it last as long as possible. Well, they actually do the stick mixes as well. Stick mix used to be really popular. Not popular as much now. Actually, it's more turning into a spod and boat mix. But you know, you can still use it for stick mixes if you still use stick mix. If you don't know what a stick mix is basically like an oily or highly attractive little stick that you use to slide down onto your hook. Some people use them still, but not everyone. They become a bit of an old school thing. I don't know why. I even stopped using them, and I used to use it. Mad. So they're all 3 flavours, like I said. The only thing that's been changed is the Red Lobster one used to be brown, and now it's red. Now it looks brown straight away. As soon as you look at it, you go, that's brown. But if you add the glug into it or add water to it, it will go red. Actually quite bright red. So don't try and add anything to it to make it red, because it will be really bright. Yeah, so not many people know that. They see it and just think, oh, that's just brown. But it's been changed so it will go red. So yeah, it's definitely been doing the one up at Mousehole. Joff and Kyle and a few others have been using it there, and they've been smashing it. They've had lots of 30s on it. It's a good little mix. They've been using it as like a boat mix. So, but yeah, they've been doing well on that. So it is a good bait. It's definitely something you can add to your mix to cloud up the spot on a spod mix. And like I said, you can use it in a boat as well as a boat mix, but I don't tend to use a boat mix. I don't have a boat, so I just use it in a spod mix, or actually in the solid bags as well. I pull it in a little bit in the bottom of the solid bags. It's brilliant. So yeah, it's definitely something you've got to try out. I'm still playing around with it myself, and I'm definitely going to be doing more with it over the year as well, definitely. And the last thing is they also do pellets. Now they do them in 2 and 6 mil. They did do them in 8 mil, but that's been discontinued. That's been stopped because not many people were interested. I'm the one that's interested in that again, but you know, it's whatever does well and you stick with it. And if it doesn't do very well, no one wants it. What's the point of having it? I agree with that myself, but again, I do like them bigger. But I use the 6 mils in spod mixes, and I use the 2 mils in solid bags, so they do work for me, and you know, that's pretty much what I use average. But the 8 mils I usually used to use and just put out like a pouch full of it, or I used to just like throw a handful in and stuff like that. It was easier, the bigger, and you can throw them a bit more. But no, I think that 2 and 6 mil are definitely the ones I use most. They come in all 3 flavours. But I prefer the Red Lobster and the Walnut. I don't really use the Ocean Fruit one myself, but others do, and it's all about preference really, what flavour you want. Maybe you want to match the flavour of pellets to the boilies, to the to the wafter or bottom bait or whatever it is. So it is there, but for me, I prefer the Red Lobster and the Walnut, just because I like a nutty and I like a fish. So it just works together really well. So if you've gone all the way through this video and you like Carp Basics bait, definitely check it out. I've got the link to the website in the description below. I've also got a link to the latest video as well, which I filmed and edited. There's definitely going to be some more videos coming out this year as well, so check them out as well on the YouTube channel, Carp Basics UK. Definitely check it out. I put a lot of hard work in on their channel and on their videos and editing for them as well. I just wanted to say that I mentioned Mousehole earlier, and I just want to mention that the bait is actually in the shop at Mousehole. If you don't know the lake, it is a really nice place, brilliant swims, nice people, you've got a nice cafe there and everything, and the bait's in the shop, and that's always good. But Kyle and Joff have been down there a lot. They've been doing a lot of fishing down there, caught some big carp, and yeah, they've definitely been doing really well, and have made really good establishment there. And I've been down there a few times. It's been really nice, friendly and everything, and they've definitely helped the fishery out, but also it's helped Carp Basics. There's going to be a social down at Mousehole, and I'm going to be there doing my video. But there's also going to be a big social going on, so I've got to join in and be sociable. But on the 11th, we've actually got an open day, so anyone can come along and have a look at the bait, and also they can have a look at the fishery. It's a really nice fishery, like I mentioned, and I think you'd be impressed by it, especially how many big carp come out all the time on those lakes. But I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be filming, and also I'm going to be helping with the Carp Basics stuff as well. So if you're interested, you should come down and have a look. And yeah, you get to see the bait firsthand. You get to see the actual bait. You get to smell it. You get to, you know, you get to be more than just me saying the words of the bait. You get to actually experience it and test them and smell them and I don't know, chew on it. No, don't chew on it. I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, so you get to check them out, and I'll definitely be there hanging around somewhere. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a bit different, I know, but the review is basically just to go over everything in detail. I just wanted to establish all the baits and all the products in one video and just talk about it a bit more in detail. I don't get much time to talk about it when I'm on the bank, when I'm fishing. I'm so busy filming and fishing and trying to focus on everything that I just go, oh, it's an all nut. So it's nice to talk about all the baits and stuff, and I've had such a great year. I've had so many PBs. I've beaten my PB twice, common twice. It's been crazy. I've been catching a lot of big carp as well, decent 20s. I'm hoping to get a 30 this year on them as well. But yeah, I've been really impressed by the bait, and I've been really impressed by everyone on the team. And yeah, I've had a really good time on the socials as well, and also doing the filming. I've enjoyed that. So hopefully this year it'll be even better for me fishing wise and for Carp Basics. So all I gotta say is thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.